You know the feeling. You open your laptop to do one important thing. One thing. Then your brain says, before we start, let's just check one tiny thing. 5 minutes later, you're watching a video about a refrigerator from 1974, reading comments from strangers, and somehow reorganizing your desktop icons. And the worst part is, you are not even enjoying it. You know the task is waiting. You know the deadline is moving closer. You know future you is going to pay for this, but present you keeps whispering, not yet. So today, we're going inside the procrastinating mind, not to shame it, to understand why an intelligent person can clearly know what matters and still choose everything else first. The first thing to understand is this: procrastination is not the same as laziness. Laziness says, I don't care. Procrastination says, I care so much that starting feels uncomfortable. That is why people procrastinate on things that actually matter to them: applications, studying, taxes, health appointments, creative projects, difficult conversations. The task is important, but the task also creates a feeling: boredom, fear, confusion, embarrassment, pressure, self-doubt. And when your brain sees a task that creates discomfort, it looks for the fastest escape. Not the smartest escape, the fastest one. This is why a person can avoid writing one email by cleaning the entire kitchen. The kitchen was not the priority, it was just emotionally easier. Researchers often describe procrastination as a problem of self-regulation, but one of the most useful ways to see it is this: procrastination is short-term mood repair. Your brain is not always trying to ruin your life, it is trying to make you feel better right now. The task says, this might be hard. The phone says, this will feel easy. The assignment says, you might fail. The snack says, you will feel better in 10 seconds. The blank page says, you don't know what to say. The internet says, here are 12 things that ask nothing from you. So procrastination becomes a tiny emotional painkiller. It works immediately, it just has terrible side effects. Because the discomfort does not disappear, it gets transferred to a later version of you. Imagine there are two versions of you sitting at a table. Present you is holding the remote. Future you is holding the consequences. Present you says, I deserve a break. Future you says, I agree, but we still have to do the thing. Present you says, we'll be more motivated tomorrow. Future you quietly opens a calendar and starts sweating. This is the strange trick of procrastination. The person who gets relief is not the person who pays the bill. Present you gets comfort. Future you gets panic. Present you gets entertainment. Future you gets a 2 a.m. deadline. Present you gets to avoid feeling stupid. Future you gets to rush through something important while feeling even worse. Procrastination is basically emotional debt, and like most debt, it grows interest. One reason this happens is called present bias. Humans tend to give extra weight to rewards and discomforts that are right in front of us. A small reward now can feel more powerful than a big reward later, and a small discomfort now can feel more urgent than a big problem later. This is why Start the Project loses to Watch One More Video. The project has a future reward, the video has an immediate reward. The project may help your career, your grades, your health, or your confidence, but the benefit is abstract. The video gives you a hit right now. Your brain discounts the future, not because you are broken, because the human mind evolved to care deeply about the present moment. The problem is that modern life is built out of delayed rewards. There is another trap. The task usually looks bigger before you start it. From far away, a difficult task is not one task, it is a fog. Write the essay secretly contains choose an idea, open the document, find the notes, make an outline, write a bad first sentence, delete it, feel confused, try again, and wonder if everyone else is better at life. The brain does not like fog, it likes clear next actions. When a task is vague, your mind can't estimate the effort, so it treats the task like danger. And when the task feels dangerous, avoidance feels reasonable. This is why I need to get my life together is paralyzing, but open the document and write one ugly paragraph is possible. The cruelest part of procrastination is the shame loop. First, you avoid the task because it feels bad. Then you feel guilty for avoiding it. Then the guilt makes the task feel even worse. Then you avoid it again. Now the task is not just a task, it has become evidence in a private trial against yourself. See, you always do this. You have no discipline. Other people can handle this. What's wrong with you? But shame is a terrible productivity system. It may scare you into action once in a while, but it also makes the task emotionally heavier. The more you attack yourself, the more your brain wants relief. And if your brain wants relief, procrastination starts looking useful again. Self-hatred does not solve the loop, it fuels it.
So what actually helps? Not a dramatic life reset, not a perfect morning routine, not buying a notebook so beautiful you're afraid to write in it. What helps is lowering the emotional cost of starting. Make the first step so small that your brain cannot turn it into a monster. Do not say, "I will study for 3 hours." Say, "I will open the notes and read one heading." Do not say, "I will clean the whole room." Say, "I will put 5 things where they belong." Do not say, "I will write the script." Say, "I will write the worst possible first line." Starting is not magic, but starting changes the shape of the task. The fog becomes a road. Here is a simple rule. Make the first 2 minutes count. 2 minutes is not enough to finish most meaningful work, but it is enough to cross the wall between not doing and doing. Set a timer for 2 minutes. Open the file. Write the title. Find the form. Put on your shoes. Read the first question. Move the first object. When the timer ends, you're allowed to stop. That permission matters because the goal is not to trick yourself into working forever. The goal is to teach your brain that starting is survivable. Often, once you begin, continuing becomes easier. But even if you stop, you have still changed the story. You are no longer the person avoiding it. You are the person who made contact. Another powerful move is to make the hidden task visible. Procrastination loves vague monsters. So write the monster down. Instead of prepare presentation, write open slides, choose 3 points, make title slide, add 1 example, find 1 image, practice once. A list like this does 2 things. First, it shows you the task is not infinite. Second, it gives your brain a menu of entry points. Maybe you cannot finish the presentation right now, but you can choose the title. Maybe you cannot solve your entire financial situation tonight, but you can open the account and look at the numbers. Clarity reduces fear, and when fear goes down, avoidance loses some of its power. Willpower is real, but it is expensive. So do not build your whole life on needing heroic willpower every day. Design the room. If your phone is the escape hatch, put it in another room for 20 minutes. If a blank page scares you, start with bullet points. If a task feels lonely, sit near someone else who is working. If a deadline is too far away, create a smaller deadline that happens today. If you keep saying later, decide exactly when later is. The point is not to become a productivity machine. The point is to reduce friction for the behavior you want and increase friction for the escape you keep choosing. Your environment is not background scenery. It is part of the system making decisions with you. The deepest cure for procrastination is not learning how to feel motivated all the time. It is learning how to act while feeling imperfect. Start while nervous. Start while bored. Start while annoyed. Start before the plan feels elegant. Start before the confidence arrives. Start badly enough that the first version has no pressure to be good. Because procrastination often promises one beautiful lie. Wait until you feel ready. But readiness is not always the beginning of action. Sometimes readiness is the result of action. So if there is something you've been avoiding, don't ask, "How do I finish this?" Ask a smaller question. What is the next honest step? Then do that for 2 minutes, messily, today. Future you is waiting, and for once, present you can send help.